Oh, I'm back again. That's Paul Beverley looking at modern comments. I've been doing a bit of work on them this past few days and learned a few more things which hopefully will be helpful. We can start off, need to move it down a bit so that you can see I'm not in your way. I want to look at the two, revising really, looking at the two ways of viewing comments. In the top corner here you've got the comments button. If you click on that, then the comments can be viewed in the list mode or contextual. Of course they disappear because they're right off the edge there. So contextual means that the comments are lined up with where the text is that they refer to. So there's another comment down there. So if we click again, then we've got the two comments there together. So there's contextual and the list mode. It's slightly confusing in that Microsoft are calling this thing the Comments pane because it's actually movable as a pane. If you look at the menu there, it's got a move, so you can grab hold of it and move it somewhere else, which means that I can wind up to a better size of display on there. So we can move it around, and it jumped around a bit last time, and I know why now. If we're allowed to move it, so if I move slowly to the right and just go over the end there, it jumps into the sort of like locked on to the frame. If I go for move again, move, and let's move it this way, just go off the edge, and then it locks onto that side. So let's move it again and move it down out the way. Let's put it down there. Okay, so that's moving the comments pane around. I say it's called the comments pane, which is a bit of a nuisance because there is actually a thing called the comments pane, which is this thing down here that we've got. Let's expand that a bit to make it more visible. So you've got the comments there. There's the top one and there's the bottom one. Okay. And that is also called a comments pane, but and also there's something wrong in the coding here, because if I try to select part of that there, suppose I wanted to change it, it doesn't show the selection, but it does actually do something, because if I say make that bold, then you can see that that bit I selected is now bold, and also you can see it in the other comments pane, the modern comments pane. So yeah, it's a bit of a nuisance. Anyway, so what are we doing next? Yeah, so we're calling it. Oh yes, the macro I'm using is called comments pane, and that's opening and closing this pane down the bottom. So that's that one there. We've looked at moving the comments pane around. You can also resize it, so resize, and then you can just sort of select a different size. You'll notice if we go back to the contextual one, it disappears off the edge, of course. It's a different size. Let's go to comments again. So if you've got the screen wound up and you move across to the contextual one, then there, further over please, there we go. So that's contextual, and that changes with the zoom, whereas the list one stays at the same size regardless of what the zoom is. Okay, how are we doing? Right, so there is actually a third way of viewing the comments, the reviewing pane. So if I put the ribbon back on and I go to review, then there's an item here, reviewing pane, and okay, that gives you in a pane, again a movable pane if you want to, that gives you the comments, which are that one and that one. However, it's mixed in with all the track change information as well, so that may well not be terribly useful, but at least you know it's there. Okay, adding a comment, you will probably be aware of using Control-Alt-M to pull in a comment. That's gone into the list mode there. Let's view it in the contextual display. Just make it a bit smaller. It's going over there. Oh dear. So in in there you can type things in. You can use bold or italic or various other things. And a question that let's just accept that. A question which someone has been asking is whether we can use well, we know we can't use auto text, or we've got that somewhere on here. No, it's further down. Okay, let's go down. I'm going to show you add simple in a minute. I've already shown you that the selecting of the text is dodgy. The autocorrect, auto text, and a thing called quick parts, which I've not come across, apparently they don't work on the modern comments, but I will say that there was a discussion as to whether phrase express and what's the other one, can't remember its name for the moment, but I was told they didn't work. Phrase express does work. If I only use it for programming, so if I do VML, so those are things I use for programming, and they do work in the comments column there. Okay, I mentioned comment add simple, so that's another way of adding a new comment, but with that one it opens the comment column. So where are we? I can't remember how to do it. Oh yes, there we go. So that's putting in a new comment, and it's adding some text. You can add some text in front of each comment if you want to, using the comment add simple macro. So you can put in your text in there, and then if you go back into there and look at the comment there, it's well, need to make it a bit smaller, don't we? So if we go to the comments mode, it should be visible somewhere, but I can't find it. Where's it gone? It must be here somewhere. Okay, so let's get rid of the comments pane and then go to comments, and there it is. Good. Okay, so that's the bit I typed in there, and that's so you can see that it's added AQ, but you don't have to add any extra text there with that macro if you don't want to. Someone also asked about moving between systems where one's got the modern comments and the other hasn't. So I sent out some files or a file with comments in to someone else on another system, and they checked it and put in some responses. So we can have a look at that. So moving between systems. So let's get the other file in. Here we go. So right, so I made some comments, sort of 1 and 2, and I put in some formatting, and it was interesting to see how that was handled. You don't see some of the formatting. So for example, you've got bold, italic, superscript and underline. The superscript doesn't show, and neither does the color. There was some font color in there, but if you look at the the old comment pane, you can see that you've got some color in there. You've got some color down here, so 2 lots of color. You've got the superscript there, and that was my friend responding. TJC was responding. He was putting in some superscript and some color, but then when you see it in the modern comments, it doesn't display the color and it doesn't display the superscript. May not be terribly concerning to you. So we are able to transfer files back and forth which have modern comments, so that should reassure some of you, hopefully. Well, that's a bit about it for now. If you know of any of my macros that don't work with modern comments, then do please let me know, or indeed any macros that don't work. I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.